Okay, um, so we've been working on this web page for a while now, and I think in our early classes, I had this talk about that most people access the internet with their phones, even the percentage compared to people that open it on their laptops or desktops. It's kind of higher for phones because you can carry it anywhere. You can just be on the bus, and then you're surfing you're going through a web page. You're on a website to perform maybe a transaction or something. So, we've actually just been working on the desktop view or the laptop view, and then if I resize, you can see my screen now. If I resize this screen, because so what I'm actually doing is like I am trying to check how responsive my web page is, what I created. I'm trying to check what it's actually going to look like on different devices. So your browser kind of has this developer tools where you can resize your screen to like check which one is how it fits on a tablet view, a mobile phone, and then your your laptop view too. So when you inspect towards the left here, you have this kind of icon if you're using Google Chrome. So when you click on it, so this is what our web page looks like on a phone. So at the top here, there are different, what I call them sections, or yeah, let me just call them sections. So here now you see that we have this mobile S320 pixels, and then we still have some phones that are this wide. So this is like for your screen size. So when you adjust to this point, it's still, so this is still a mobile view. And then when you come to this point, you have the tablet view. So this is what this web page looks like on a tablet. And then you keep going. This is a laptop view. And then we have bigger desktops and sorts. Yeah, so that kind of thing. So for today, we're actually trying to make this our web page, which is only good on a laptop view. It just looks nice on a laptop view, but you've seen what it looks like on a mobile screen. It's so horrible and terrible. Yeah. So what we want to do today is we want to look at something called media queries. So media query is a way of working on your page so that it kind of fits different screen sizes. So we're actually going to look at that so that we can arrange our page so that even if someone opens it on a phone, it kind of still looks nice. So that's what we want to do. So we want to work on this whole page so that it looks nice when somebody's on this screen size or is on a tablet, and then it still looks good. So that's what we are going to look at today. So let's get right to it. All right, so um, there's this will I say school of thought that says when you want to build a web page that you should probably start on a mobile first approach. You guys can hear me, right?
Yes, we can.
So you should actually start on a mobile first approach. So, well, that can work. That can work. But oftentimes you see people, you go from their laptop view lower down to the mobile view. So personally, I actually go through. I actually do my own from the laptop view and then kind of go small. So I think that works for me, or probably that's the way I learned mine. So you go from big to small. So how do we actually do this media query? How do we work on this? Let's look at it. So I'm opening VS Code now. And so my HTML is still here. We didn't finish what I had in mind. Sorry about that last week. If we're able to finish this in time, maybe we'll just go back to completing this, but let's go to what we have today. So I'm going to increase my, for the sake of a safe square, then the other time. So I'm going to increase this so that you can actually see it better. Okay, so using media queries is you kind of have to work on it. Excuse me. Okay, so you kind of have to work on your style sheets. So that's where because it's more like you're creating a different, a different screen or a different style rather for a different screen. So like what we've been writing now, it's more like going to be like we've written style for our mobile view, for our laptop view rather. And then we want to now write probably for the tablet view and then the mobile view. So when you're dealing with media queries, you have to like start with the at media. So at media, and then you now have to like put your breakpoint. So a breakpoint is kind of like, let me open this. So a breakpoint is where a screen, so it's like the size of a particular screen. Yeah. So you have like, for this screen that we're looking at, this is the tablet view. You have like from 0 to 768 pixels. Yeah. So you have like 0 to 768 pixels. So that is the, so this is like, this is the what I call it, width of a tablet view. When you go to smaller devices, so you have 425 here. So this is this. So a breakpoint is like, okay, from this to this, this is what should happen. So it's more like this number here is like a breakpoint. So at this particular width, from a certain width, which is this initial one, to this particular 425 that we are seeing here. So this is like a breakpoint. So something should happen when we're at this point. So there's no number here. So that means it's starting from like, it's starting from 0. So from 0 to 425 pixels, something should happen. At 0 to 320 pixels, something should happen.
Yeah. Does anyone have any question? If you have any question, please can you just raise your hand? Does anyone have any question concerning?
Okay. Can you guys hear me? Yes, go ahead. Okay, okay. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Sorry about that. Okay.
Hello, sir.
So you have to kind of define your. Okay, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Sorry, please. If you do have a question, please raise up your hand before you speak. You can use the chat box instead. Thank you.
Can you guys? Okay. Kind of takes a while. Okay. Okay, so
If you do have any question pending the time our trainer is back, can you raise up your hand? Or you use the chat box instead. Thank you. Opuneme, please can you speak?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. What's your question?
So my question is based on the previous assignment you gave also, because I've been wondering, like I've submitted the other one that he gave, and we were scored, but the last class we had, he said we should finish the rest. That rest is the one I don't understand. Is it we finish the whole page? Because we have done for the first landing page, we have done from the beginning to the end. I don't, is it will do for other viewports? That's what I've been trying to understand.
Okay, Opuneme, I think the question is that, when you were given the facts, you were asked to do section 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you check the Figma file, there are other sections which includes the testimonial, the about us, and the footer section. That's the one you should work on, and it's not a promotional tax. It's just for you to test your skill. I don't know if you get. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, great, Debo. Can you speak?
All right, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
I quickly had to join the Zoom because I was on YouTube before. Now, to be honest with you, the task 4, the task that promoted us to stage 4, I'm still on it. I really don't know what we're supposed to do. Are we supposed to design that Fin Suite page? Because I'm done with the page 1. I'm already on the page 2. So I don't even know the full task yet. I'm just designing as I'm just like that. So please, what exactly am I supposed to do?
Okay, at great table rather.
Greatest demo, yeah?
Greatest table. The task is you should design the first page.
Okay.
The section 1 has been designed in class already. So you have
Okay.
to do section 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Which is
2,
the
3,
promotional
okay.
tax. Then
Okay.
for you to enhance your skill to keep practicing, it's
Okay.
advisable to do the many other sections. That is the whole page. But
Oh,
those old pages are not promotional tax. You just post it on the Slack channel under a thread. You'd see where it's going to be posted and you get your review there. So
okay. So I'm to do 2, 3, 4, 5 for the
yeah.
promotional task, then
Yeah.
finish the rest for the
Yeah.
okay, for just like practicing. All right. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. God bless. Listen.
You're welcome. Any other one ask another question again? Can you please raise up your hand?
Okay, thank you very much, checking, but I think Olochukwu is back now.
All right, so
Sorry guys, that's my network keeps going off. Okay, but I think it's better now. So I was saying that for the media query, you have to start at media and then define your breakpoints. So I'm going to write a comment here. The comments I'm going to write is maybe my mobile view. Yeah. So inside here, and I'm going to. So this is my screen size, and so I'm going to start from this 425, since the whole of this is mobile, this is still mobile, this is still mobile. So I'm going to take this breakpoint. Okay, so I'm going to take this breakpoint, this 425, but the issue with using 425 directly is that it kind of assumes that, okay, that from 424 lower, those are the screen sizes that will be affected. So it assumes that, okay, this that 425 is not inclusive. So the way to go around this is when you're defining a breakpoint, you're like maximum width. So I'm going to do, if I do 425 itself, I want to show you what happens when I do this. So let me just explain this before I forget it. So your reason for doing media queries basically for what you decide that you want to show on a small screen or on a tablet. So it's basically you showing and hiding things or changing how things are presented on your web page. So that is just basically what media query does here for you. Okay, so let me just so this is the screen size. This is 425. So if I do 425 now, let's say for instance, I don't want my image to show here. Probably this image, this hero section, image section. So I'm copying this now. And I'm coming here. So let me adjust this so that we can see. I paste this here. And I say, I don't want it to display on a small screen. So if I check here now, so So if I check here now, you see that here on this screen, okay, sorry about that. So on this, can you guys hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So on this screen size, at 425, which is the maximum width that we're looking at, we still have this image showing up. But if I go lower now, you see that that image is no longer there anymore. So that's the flaw that using exactly 425 here. So these are like breakpoints. These are breakpoints. If you adjust to this screen size, you see that we have 768. So these are like values that you use to constrain what you're displaying. But now that we are using maximum width of 425, you're seeing that no effect is really happening here. So what you want to do is you want to like raise the bar higher. So you could use like 4 to 6 pixels. So at maximum width of 4 to 6 pixels, this image should not show up. So you now see this guy, the image is not showing up. So that kind of fixes that aspect for us. And then you see, we have this scrolling stuff, which is so annoying. Yeah. So we want to like fix up this page. So usually when designers are creating their work, so you should your designer should actually do a mobile view, and if possible a tablet view, though that one is not so common. So that you kind of know that you know what you're displaying on your on the laptop or the mobile view. So but for this one now, we do not have that. We don't have that on our design. So what we are doing is we're just going to style it according to what we think it should look like. So that's what we're going to tackle now. So you see that for my value now, I actually used 4 to 6. I just added one more pixel so that from this breakpoint 4 to 5 here, which is for my mobile screen. So from 4 to 5 to the smallest, you see that we don't have that image anymore. But once I just go higher, I now get this Bunge image here. So, my dear people on the internet, so we are going to, so this is not what I want to actually do for this. So for the image section, so let's just start from the top and just keep walking down. Okay, so we are starting from the header now. So I will just go back to what we had. So for this header now, you kind of, so when you have a scrolling stuff, when you have this, when your page is able to dance from one side to the other, you know that there's an issue somewhere. And if you look at this now and scroll, you see that every other thing fits. But this is where the problem is. Like, this is going out. This is, let's say our container is kind of constraining all of this. Our container is constraining all of this. So, but this header now is like, it's coming out, is overlapping on the page. So we want to start from there to fix all of this. Oh, so let's confirm that this is our problem and that if we remove this, if we're able to fix this, we will be able to sorry. Okay. All right. So if we remove this, we will not have this scroll bar at the bottom here. So what I'll do is I select my inspect. This is where you do more of, you have to inspect and kind of fix stuff for it to work. So what I'll do is I'll just, for this header now, so this is my header. I'm just going to hide this header first, and then we'll just confirm if that is our problem. So I'm calling my header class header, or my header element, and I'm saying have a display of none. So I'm trying to troubleshoot to know where my problem is coming from. So I do that, I save, I kind of look through. So you see now that my scrollable line is not there. Okay, so is my voice, am I loud enough now? Okay. All right. Yeah. So let's just, so you see that when I hit the header now, it's the scrollable line at the bottom went off. So so we've been able to confirm that okay, that was the problem. So we now have to arrange our header in such a way that it's actually going to fit in properly. So let's just get right to it. I'm going to remove this display none because I still want my header to show up. So yes. So what I want to do is, now remember that we had this display flex thing here. So this is my main header here. Main header here has a display of flex. So it has a display of flex, but I kind of want my navigation items, so like what links me to other pages, to change the direction. So I don't want it to be at I don't want it to be on the I don't want it to be on a row. I want it to be on a column view. So like you have home, you have about, you have all of this lined up here. So that's what I actually want to achieve. So the way I would have done this now is, this is my main header. So I'm going to target the main header in my CSS here. So in header, and I want to change the flex direction to a column view. So it's actually by default, you know that flex is actually in a row. A flex is actually, it's in a row. So you're changing the flex direction to a column view, so that column view. So this is what we have now. So our header now, this is at the center. And then you have these links lined up here. But still, this may not be the field that we want, because for most mobile devices, or when you go on websites, what you see is you see the logo at this point, and then you see a hamburger here. So you kind of like want a hamburger to display here, and then this other one to display your logo to be at this point. So I'm going to revert this because this is not the view that we want. So let me just comment this out. So we're back to where we were before. So the links could actually just take that column view, because for this main header, I want a hamburger to be at this end and then the logo at this point. But for the list items, so I kind of want it to be on a straight line. So I'm just going to select this. So I have right section, I have navigation. I believe we can all see this. Just zoom out a bit. So you have right section, you have navigation. So this navigation, I'm going to like target it, right section, and then pick the navigation. And then I have for my UL now, I have display flex on it, but I want the flex direction now. So flex direction, I'm typing on this end, flex direction of column view. So for a column view, this actually lines up well, but it's still scattered. Okay, guys, I'm fine. Okay, so it's actually it's lined up like this. So this is we kind of want this view, but we still want our fin suite to actually be at the top here. So this is actually not helping us to achieve this. So what you would want to do is, so let me just put this up. Flex direction of column. So I'm targeting my right section. And then in the right section, now I'm targeting like the navigation, which is a class navigation. And then my UL. So I kind of want a flex direction of column. So I want each of them to kind of, yes, I want them to be lined up like this. But then again, this other guy is still at this point. So you're either going to decide between showing this. Do we want to show this on a small screen, or we want to hide it? So probably we want to just show it on a small screen. So this right section has a display of flex. So I'm actually going to change it to a column view too, so that it shows up well. So I'm just going to target my right section. And then flex direction of column. All right. So we have this, but it's now in the center. Everything is in the center of our page. So we have our links at this point. So say for instance, this is how we actually want to arrange it. So we have our links arranged like this, which doesn't give us the feel that we want, because everything is just centralized. And this is not what we expect from this section. So we have a container that kind of holds everything together, but everything is to the center. And the reason for this is that for our main header, we had align items center, okay? And then for our right section, we have align items of center. So probably you want, this is like the view that wants for our page. So you have to change this align items for the right section to align items. You want to do a flex start. So for the right section, so this is right section. So we have different options here. We have baseline, center, this. So I want it to be at the start. Okay. So flex start rather. So flex start, confirm. So you see that we have this here. So we have our links here. So at this point now, we got this line here, this border to the right now. We don't want it. Let me reload this page. Okay. So this border here, so this is our navigation now. our navigation has this border. We don't want this border to be here. We want to remove it. So we are going to select this style. So I'm going to copy this. If I click here, I'm able to highlight on it. I copy it and then I paste it here. So I'm like a border of none, or just border of none. That covers it. So if I confirm now, so I don't have that border anymore. Okay, so confirm. Okay. So right section, align flex that. So for this one, this fin suite, this if that has this main header now that has a display of flex. So you want to like remove this align items center, because that is kind of making it to be in the center of the page. All right, so I'm also going to, for my main head, I'm also going to remove the align items. I'm going to change my align items to be flex start. All right. So you kind of have this scenario where everything is like this now. Now, but if you notice, you see that our links here, they're kind of tight, they're squeezed in. So we want to like give this list item some padding. So if I do padding top and bottom, maybe I say 10 pixels. You see, left and right maybe 0. So we have some space here now. So you want to target the list item here, because on a smaller screen, on a large, there's your laptop, you kind of have this. Let me just do this. So here now, you now notice everything actually fits in well here. So why this is here is because of this padding. I've not yet removed this. So if I just do this nicely, you see everything lines up well. So what we want to achieve now is we want our list items to like have some space between each of them, so that we want to like increase the padding. So we're just going to target the LI. So right section UL LI. So I copy that. Okay. All right. So I'm targeting the LI, and then I want to add padding. Top and bottom of that padding is going to be like 10 pixels from what we tested out there. And then left and right, we have a 0. So this is actually going to affect each of them. So you see, this is more like, this is the view that we have now. So for each item here, so you have some padding between each of them. So we have a margin right here, a margin right of 20 pixels. So you kind of like want to remove that margin because it's not really performing anything here. Yeah. So it's not performing anything here on a mobile view. So you want to like remove it. So I'm going to say margin right of 0 pixels. So why I'm saying that is because if I hover here now, you see this extra orange-like kind of space here. So that's like a margin of 20 pixels. So we want to like change that. Okay, so I'm doing a margin right. Margin right of 0. So see now we have this now. So another thing I could actually want to do is to display block for our list item. So I'm just going to okay, so I now see why this is not. Okay. So we actually gave a width. So we did not give a width, but for this right section, if I inspect on this thing and I bring it here, now you see that it's as if we have a defined width that this is going to occupy. And then at this point, you want this to stretch to the end of this screen. You don't want it to be as small as this. So I'm going to give this a width of 100%. So let's just test that out here. For the right section, if I have a width of 100%, so when I inspect and I'm here now, you see that this has now stretched up to this point. So I want to, for my right section, this is my right section. So you see that this is like a different style sheet, different from the previous, the one above. Whatever we do here, if I resize my screen, you see that it does not affect the other view. It only works from this 426 pixels lower down to 0. So for my right section here, let me just add this. So I have a width of 100%. So yeah, this is it. So probably you also want this hour. So I was talking about display block, but so so a display of block. Okay. So my navigation is this thing. So I also want a width of 100% because if I hover my navigation here, so this is my right section, and right section has a width of 100%. Let me reload this. So right section has a width of 100%. Navigation is as slim as, I don't know. So I kind of also want this to have a width of 100%. So if I come here now, you see that it's as long as that. Then if I come to my LI is long now. If I come to my anchor tag is small. So I want the navigation to have a width of 100%. So I'm going to target this navigation, have a width of 100%. Okay, so reload this. So this is navigation. Navigation has a width of 100%. This is LI. LI has a width of 100%. Then this our anchor tag. It means that if we just click only on this point, excuse me, if we just click only on this point, we can only click here so that it takes us to another page. But for instance, you could want that whether you click on this point, it should actually just take you to the home view instead of just having to click on the text alone. So I will want a display of block here. So you see that my anchor tag rather is this long now. So even if I click here, it will actually take me to a different page. That's if it's actually linked. But at this moment, we don't have any other page where it's going to go to. So it's just staying here. So I want a display of block for my anchor tag. So I'm actually going to, so remember that, I hope I'm not lost. Like I'm doing a one-sided thing. So it's more, your media query is kind of focused on the CSS actually, but you need to kind of understand how your HTML view is. So this is my header. Remember that we have this navigation, and then inside the navigation, you have the UL, you have the LI, and then you have the anchor tag here. So you want to like target this anchor tag. So that's what I'm trying to do now. So inside here now we have, so right section, UL, LI, and then the anchor tag. And then you want a display of block on this screen size. So I am able to click on any point. So you see now, when I clicked on this, it pointed me to this point. If I click here, so the whole of this is now clickable. So we can actually just work with that. So this is more like the header, but you know, you kind of have a hamburger here that when you click on it, this comes up. So, but on this screen size, probably we can just work with this because so you can just, I'm going to hide this because you kind of want, when you click on the hamburger, this comes up. And for doing that, you kind of need JavaScript to do that so that when you click on the hamburger, this shows up. But the scope of this class today is just to handle media queries. So for now, what we are going to do is when we finish with this point now, we're just going to hide this because we don't want it to show up on a small screen. We just want it to show up on a laptop. So I want to now style this other part. So if I click here now, you see that we have this road assistance. Let me go to my HTML. So we have this road assistance. Now this road assistance is what we are seeing here. Now the road assistance, if you notice, we have a padding left of 20. If I remove that padding left of 20, you see it adjusts to this point. So we want it to also start at this point. So we could actually just do, we can just target this road assistance, come to our style. So we could just say, instead of having, we could just add some padding at the top and at the bottom. But for the left and right, we don't want any padding anymore. So I can just say 10 pixels, top and bottom. Left and right, I can just say I don't want anything there. So if we confirm now, you see that this is at this point. Let me reload this page so that I know that I don't have any external listening. So at this point now, you see that this is lined up. Everything is just lined up like well. This has like a better view. We don't have anything scrolling here. This kind of like fixes it for us. So like I said, we're not going to focus on really putting the on putting the hamburger effects that when you click on it, you kind of display this other section. So what I'm just going to do for now is I just want to hide this section. So I don't want it to show up on this so that I can focus on every other aspect. So I'm trying to find this section now. So this is like the right section. So for this right section, I want to hide it. So I will just do a display of none. Yeah, it's best that everything is just do it on one page. Yeah, so that you're able to go back and forth and understand what you're doing. So just put every. So that's why you see there are like different sections. This is the media query for it. So you also probably have to do for a tablet view so that it actually fits well. So I said I wanted to hide this right section. So I'm going to do a display of none here. All right. So that is what is happening here now. So a display of none, and then you see that we don't have this here. So what is actually supposed to be here is a hamburger, which we will tackle maybe soon. Tackle it. So now that we are done with this section, you're supposed to like come over to this side and now start styling it because we have all of this to kind of fix. So we're just going to do them one after the other. So here now, this new section, now you see that when you click on this and come here, so you have a display of flex. You have flex here. Now this display of flex, this is the hero section. I can bear with the padding of 80 pixels at the top and the bottom, so that one doesn't have an issue. But I have this flex here. I have this flex here. Now this flex just says, this flex says just keep them side by side, no matter the screen they are. But at this point now, what I want to do is I want the flex direction to be column. So you kind of like want one on top of the other. But remember that we gave the different sections a width. So that's why you're seeing it as slim as this. So what we want to do is we want to add a class here that when we're on this screen size, it kind of works, it kind of makes it to have a column view so that we have one on top of the other. So this is what I mean now. So I'm just going to add, so I'm just going to do a flex column. Remember I was creating custom classes, so flex column here. So I'm just going to add a small screen here. Flex is on small screen. This should happen. So flex on a small screen, just have column. I hope we don't get confused with this. So what I want to do here is I want to have a flex direction of column. So I'm going to add this in my HTML now. So this is my flex. I'm going to add flex small screen and then have a column. So what happens is that if I reload this page now, so you see that it's on a column view now. If I expand this now, you see it does not affect, nothing is ruined. Nothing is ruined so far. All the stars have been doing. So it's only when you get to this screen size, that's when you now start noticing all the effects. So what I want to do here is now, remember that we have two sections. You have this. So I don't know if we understand how this this section works on your browser. Here you can actually see the style. So that's why I'm not like showing it on. I'm not like going through this section, but still following here now. You see that we have this flex now. We have the text section, which has the text there. We have the image section, or this is the hero section that we're talking about. So you kind of have the text section and then the image section. Now, if I click on it here, so this text section, you notice that we have a width of 45%. Now, this 45% was supposed to be for a laptop view. But on this screen size, we want it to be wider. We want it to have a width of 100%. So if I do a width of 100%, you see it's now wider. So I want to copy there for the previous screen because we're on a different screen now. We're on a different screen size. So below this now. Okay. So have a width of 100%. So that's what I have here, a width of 100%. I come back here now. Now you see that this is fair. The only thing is that our text is so big and you probably want to reduce that. So to do that, you have to like click on. So you see we have a H1 here, text section, H1, which has a font size of 64 pixels. So you want to reduce the font size so that it's not looking so big. So I'm copying this text section H1, which is, so you'll have to like select what you want to change. The text section H1 have a font size of, let's look at 48 pixels. Let's see what it gives us. So this is 48 pixels. Maybe I should just do 30. 35 rather. So this is 35 pixels. So for this other section, so this section now, this section has been fixed, but this other section, we still have to work on it. We still have to like add, let it have a width of 100% at least. So this should be, so this is the text section. So this is the image section. So I want a width of 100%. So that I'm testing it out here first, 100%. So this is 100%. This is what 100% looks like. And it's so tiny. Okay. Okay, so we want to change that to a width of 100%. So remember I have this text section here. So instead of maybe repeating the same thing, I could just copy this hero section, image section, add a comma there, paste this. So we have two styles here. We have text section, and then we have image section. The reason is that for this width of 100%, both of them are actually doing the same thing. So instead of me saying, okay, for the text section, for hero section, text section, have a width of 100%, and then coming to another line and say, oh, for the hero section, and then the image section, I have a width of 100%. So I combined both of them here and then gave them a width of 100%. So when I come here now, I see that this is here. But okay. So the reason it was even looking like that is because this is actually kind of squeezing it inside. So this is probably this is the view that you'll be seeing. Now, there's something else that Flex kind of does that you so you, probably now, let's say I'm using an instance now. You don't want this text because this may look awkward, like having to see this first before seeing this image. You kind of want the image to be on top, then this right up, and then book a service. So maybe this picture should kind of pass a message first before this section, because I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know what this site is all about. So you kind of want to give a person that, okay, this is what we are doing here. We are mechanics, and then we kind of fix stuff here. So you can get your vehicle service and then book a price. So you want this one to come up first before this other one. Now there's a way to do that. So I come to my HTML here. So this is my flex now. So I kind of want to give this, okay. So this is text section, and then this is image section. So there's something called order when you're using flex. So you're able to arrange you're able to arrange like your image section should come before your text section. So how do we do that? Here now, remember that we have this text section. So I kind of still need to split this out. Let me just do it beautiful. So I'm targeting my text section. So since it's like one over the other one, so order gives it a kind of numbering, like this should come first, this should come second. So we want our text to come like there are two sides. So the first one is the image section, which will be number one. The second one is the text section, which will be number two. So if you're using order, you say order, you should have number two. It should be number two when it's lining up. So it should be number two. I'm going to copy the image section, and then I'll paste. So it has order one. So if I come here now, you see that this is here. So when I visit my web page, I'm able to come here. When I see I'm able to see this image first, and then I'm able to see my text here, and then I can move over to other things. I want to pause. Do we have questions? And if you have questions, just raise up your hand. Oh, you guys, am I too fast? Are we following what I'm doing? Okay, a safe square, yeah, your question. A safe square, can you hear me? Okay. Okay, are you there? Okay. You could just ask your question. Okay. 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 So you could just type it in the chat, the safe square. Okay, so this let's not be confused. It's actually just you picking out sections, like you understanding how you want your page to look and just styling it to fit. So this is a section, you have to work on it. This is you just know what you want to show or what you want to hide or what you want to change so that it looks nice on a small screen. Okay. So uh so simple, so the way so like I was explaining earlier, we kind of have designers put the view for us, how it should actually look. But since we did not have, that's why we are thinking of this. Like, what will it look like on a mobile? And that's what we are trying to fix here. So you just look at your web page and then you just kind of know what you need to change or what you need to work on. Like you're styling it just to fit into the screen that you want it to be viewed. So that's why when I resize now, and I'm on this screen size, see how this looks now. So this kind of tells you that you need to change things here. You need to make this to look better now. Now, when you kind of, I'm trying to go bit by bit now. So when you kind of hover here now, so this is the code section. So it's a different section now. I'm using this part. Let's just understand how this actually works, because you cannot you cannot just think it out. You cannot even use your direct HTML. You kind of need to inspect here and see what you need to change or what you need to work on or what is overflowing. You kind of need to inspect. That's why it's called inspect. You have to check what is going on. So inside here now, you see that we kind of have this, we have a flex, which we were doing side by side. Like when you do display of flex, it kind of shows it side by side. So no matter how your screen is, to just jam pack everything together and then give you this kind of view. So we kind of wanted to change it. So the way to change this now, so this is my flex. This is flex now. This is a new section. We've like almost completed what is here. So that's why I'm using a different section now. So this section now, I want to style this section now. I'm seeing that on a small screen, this side and this side, they are tight. And the reason is that we have just not to be side by side. I want one to be on top of the other. So what can help me achieve this? And I'll start thinking of, okay, what if I change the flex direction of this particular point or of this section of this code? What will happen? So here now, you have this element style here at the top here. So you can test out things here to see if it works. So if I click here now and I type flex direction, So this is flex direction. And then you have different options come up. So if I do a column view, you now see that, okay, so now we have this, we have one on top of the other one. So this is like a fix for a mobile view. So this can actually show up on a mobile screen. But then we are not there yet. We still need to fix these things because look at how this section is showing. It's so ugly. So we kind of still want to fix this out. So you could actually just start out one by one, fix one, and then go on to the next one. I could actually just continue inspecting and just changing the style, but fix one, move over to the other this one. So that flex now, this flex, I don't want to tamper with this thing. What another thing I could have done is just to use a specific class for this section and just be styling and just style everything here at once. But what I want to do is I've already created like a column, a column view, so that when you're on this screen size, if you add this class now, this class automatically handles flex direction of column for you on a small screen. That's why I use this SM here. So it's a custom class. So if I did not want to do that, I could just I could just add a, so this is my code section. So for this code section now, I just add a class of maybe code flex. So this code flex now, I'll just call it here now. And I will just say flex direction of column. So if I reload this page now, see that this has handled what is happening here. So this has handled what I would have used a custom class to do, because I just added a class for that section and I'm working on it. Okay. I don't know. I hope we understood what I did, what I talked about now. Do you understand what I did or what I explained now?
Yes, yes. I understand from your own end, though.
Okay. So flex direction of column, actually. All right. Thank you. Yeah. So are we still brighter picture? Yeah. Okay. So we've actually handled that using that code section. So alternatively, we could have used that flex SM, which will. So the problem with doing this for each section is that you kind of keep repeating the same code: flex direction, flex direction, flex direction. So that's why I created a custom style: flex small screen of column. I have a flex direction of column. So instead of doing this now, I can just use this and then add here. Remove this, paste this one here. So it still handles the same thing. It still does the same work. But the thing is, it has reduced the repetition of code, which we have done before. So the other thing that we need to talk about now is that for this our left, we have a left section. Now that left section has a width of 45%. but we want it to have a width of 100%. That's 45%. 45% means that it's stopping here. It's not, look, this is what is happening. So this is even an over, if I click here and I inspect, you see, it's even overflowing. This is 45%. And then this is not what we want. We want it to fill here since it's the only item now. It's just standing there on its own. So have a width of 100%. So my reason for always doing it here is so that we know that we can just test things out. You don't just write the code. You kind of have to be certain that, okay, this is working. So this is what happens here. So this fills up 100% now. So with this now, I can just get that section. I can just copy this section. So if I click here now, this section is actually highlighted and I'm able to copy it. And so it's like, that is like code for that particular section, but you styled it previously. So I want a width of 100% here. So I'll explain more about this now. The width of 100%. Okay, so let's just go over this again. So what we're saying is, when I click on a particular thing, so this left section, if you look on this side, let me expand this. You kind of notice that you have the styling. So if you check here now, this is style.css. You have the styling for this particular section from the original, from this first style that you did before. This one that is before the media query for this section. So okay, so you kind of have this just shows the style for the other page. But now when you add a media query, the media query now shows you, okay, we have a media query here. So this is the style for this section. So this is what happens. So we kind of did for both sides, because if you check the styling that I copied, so the last thing I did here, so you have this code section, left section, code section, right form section. So both of them, they are separated by commas. So both of them should have a width of 100%. That's why you're seeing this part looks even better now than what it was before. So if I remove this aspect, if I remove this part now, you see that we kind of have save. Then you see that this is what it's going to look like. So you kind of want it to have a width of 100% also. So that's why this one is like this now. Now, another thing that we kind of still need to fix here is this aspect now, this section. So you see, we have a flex here. Okay, that's fine. We have a UL, and then this, our image box has a width of 5%. Our text box has a width of 50%. So probably we need to still increase this width, the width for this text box, so that it's actually, at least it stretches out a bit, even if we don't want it to get to the end. So we could just increase it to like maybe 80%. So at least this is better. And then probably you also want to increase this, because 5% is now making this to look very tiny. So I'm going to just click on this. So instead of a width of 5% that I used initially, I can just say have a width of let's say 10%. This is kind of better So style for it from before. So if I go to this part at the end here, 137, after the colon here. So if I go to like 137, you'll see this style that I did. So let's just check it out. 137. So this is 137. So you see image box, have this. So it points you to the previous, the style before the media query. So what we want to do is we want to copy this style, put it in our media section, and then we want to increase it to a width of 10%. So going down again. So have a width of 10%. Okay. So you see, when I reload here now, so this is fine, but this is still quite tight here. So we want to expand this a bit. So I'm going to select. So we have text box, we have image box, we have text box. So those two items. So text box, I'm going to click here. When I click here, it highlights. I'm able to copy this. So remember we said this we can increase from 50%. To a width of I paste this and I so see now that the view is a bit better. Sorry, can you guys hear me? All right, thank you so much. So you see that we've been able to style this out, but probably you want to reduce the size of your heading here. So if we inspect now, I click on this, you see, this is to select an element. When I click here, I take it to my page, it's kind of highlighted. So what I want to select, if I just click on it, it now points me to where it is here. So this is my H2. So here now, we have code section, left section, H2. And I want to reduce the font size here. So if I copy this, before I go and paste that, I could just say, let's reduce it to a font size of maybe 5 pixels. So you see, we have this now. So I can just put this here. So I have a font size of 35 pixels. All right. So if I reload here now, so you see, we have this other section too. Probably we also need to do that. So this is right form section H3. So I'm copying this. I also want the same styling, so I can just combine both of them. Just do a comma here and just add this code section, right form section H3. And then you have a font size of 35 pixels. So the little problem that we have here now is that there seems not, it's as if this and this, they are kind of close to each other. So we probably want to adjust that. So this right form section, probably I want here now, let me do for the left section now. I probably want a margin bottom. so that it kind of pushes this down so that somebody does not think, okay, you need to continue from here and just go and get to this point. So remember, so let's see. So we have left section. So this is left section. I gave it a width of 100%. So I want a margin bottom. So margin bottom of 30 pixels. So there's some space there. You could actually make it more. Okay. So I just need to copy this. So there are some, if you look very well, you see that there are some styles that are just grayed out. So this styling actually initially it combined the code section pointing to the right form section. But this right form section has both of them shared a width of 100%. But now that we are just targeting just the left section, is actually grayed out because that part is not important for us. So the part that is important for us now is this left section because that's where we are highlighting now. That's why it's showing white, while this other one is as if it's grayed out. So you want to copy that and then come here and then you paste it. And then we said, let's give it a margin bottom of 40 pixels. So this is what we have now. So you have some space in between. Yeah, you have some space between this section and this section. So someone just knows that, okay, this is fine. This is all right. Can just go on like that. Okay, do we understand that? So far, do we understand? Do we get what I'm doing? Okay. Okay, Tijani, yes, your question. Yeah, can you unmute?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah,
I can hear
sorry.
you.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I have issue when you explained the work of order. I mean that order 1 and 2. I have network issue here. Please, can you go through it again, please?
Okay. Okay. So, okay, let me just go right. So order is like you trying to arrange things. So as the name implies, like you're ordering items. So it normally, when you're using flex, it kind of works. It kind of works with like the items that are inside that flex. That's the content of a flex. So you kind of need. So you kind of need a flex container, and then inside that container, you now have the items there. So those items now, depending on how many they are, so you can have like 1, 2, till whatever number they are. And then you now use order, like, what do you want to come first? The one you want to come first has number 1. The one you want to come second has number 2, like that, and till you're able to arrange each of them. So does that answer your question?
Yes, sir, thank you.
All right. Okay. Okay. So does any other person have a question? So let's just continue. Let's go over to this other section. So for this section now, so you see that we still have the same issue, the same problem that we're having. So we need to fix this now. So if I inspect, I'm clicking here and I'm coming here. So we have this flex here. Now remember that we have a custom class which kind of changes the order for us. So we don't have to like repeat a style. So for this flex now, we want one to be on top of the other. So if I just do a flex direction here of column, so you see we're able to fix that up. So what I want to do now is I want to add this. Remember, we have this class here. So it's not an ID, it's a class. So this class, also I'm going to put this is our, which section is this? This is the process section. So I'm going to put in the flex that is with the process section. So this is process section. And then we have this justify between, and then we have this. So I'll just add this here, flex on a small screen, change to column. So on a small screen, change to column. So so here now, so you see that we've resized this now. We've kind of resized this now. And then we want to like we want to increase the width of this section now. So what do we do now? So if I click on the left section, you see that we have a width of 55%. We have a width of 55% here. So we want to increase it to something higher. So we want to increase it to like 100. And then I'm pasting it inside my media query. So when I'm here, so I have a width of 100%. So if I inspect now, so this left section now has a width of 100%, but this other section is still small. So this is like the process. So this is the right process section. So here now, if I copy this right process section and kind of put this beside this, so I don't want to repeat style, that's why I'm like placing this here. So when I come here now, you see that this has stretched out, and then we have like a better view for this. So, but then we have this issue here where you kind of have for the H2 here, the H2 had a width. This width is kind of constraining us. So you want to remove this width so that it sees some space to breathe. So I'm copying this. So this is the H2 here, and then this is the style here. So I'm copying this. I paste this here. So I have a width of 100% here. So it's so here now. So we have this now. So it fits into a width of 100% now. For this paragraph now, you see that it's towards one end. It's also kind of squished inside here. So if you check now, you see that it has a width of 60%, and we want to like expand it so that it occupies 100%. So I'm copying this and I am pasting this here. Okay, I could have just repeated that. Sorry. So I just don't want us to get confused with the whole thing. So this is this. So this now fits into this section, and then we have this thing. But now look at what we have. We have a problem here. That same problem of this and this touching themselves. So you're not like seeing the difference between, you don't even know whether this is like one section. So we want to like, for this left section now, we want to like add a margin bottom here. So let me just check if that works. Margin bottom have a 40 pixels. Yeah, so we have some space here now. So I want to get this left section. So this is the left section, process section, yeah. Process section, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Process section, okay. Left section. So process section, left section has a width, has a margin bottom of 40 pixels. So it's like the AI on this thing is listening to my thoughts and it's doing my biddings. So thank you, AI. Okay, so okay, so you now notice that, yeah, we now have another problem here now. Now remember that we had this and this side by side. We have this side by side actually, and then this gets a quote now, like everything here should like be this margin top. On a large screen, it actually works out. Like it balances it out. But on a small screen now, you now see that we have this thing here, this happening here now. So what we want to do is we want to remove this margin top. So if I click the H2, then I remove this, now you see that kind of balances out. So I'm copying this. So that's the style from before. This is the number 196. So in case you're not certain of how we are doing that. So it's like what you have styled before. You're like referencing it. So for this H2, I'm doing a padding top of 0. So you see now, this kind of balances it out for us. Now, the other thing that we kind of need, I think this is fine for this section. This is actually okay. The anything that we're missing here, I think that covers it. So the other thing I really want to touch is this section now. How do you kind of fit this? How do you make it work? Okay. So you guys should be teasing me in the chat. Thank you. So for this section now, this is fine for us. This is all right. But now you see that this does not look nice. Yes, we kind of want this. We still want our flex to be there, but probably on a small screen like this, maybe you just want one item instead of four, or you maybe want two items. So maybe for me, I will probably just go with one item. So how do we fix this? If I inspect, I click here, I select one of these box. So remember that we had a display of flex, which is coming from flex. And then we have justify between here. And then this offer box, remember that we gave it a width of 24%. So 24% is like dividing 100% by 4, since we want 4. But now that we just want 1. So what do we do? Does anybody have an idea? Okay, so this looks nice for you. Okay, for me, it doesn't look nice. So yes, increase the width to what? So what are we increasing the width to? Okay, 100%. I think 100% is fine. If you do it 80 now, you have some space at the end. So we want to target like the offer box. So this is like the offer box. It is the one that has like your whole wrap. Even if you did wrap here, the wrap is still okay. It will just continue acting the way it's supposed to. But this offer box, we need to increase the width. So I'm copying this first, but let me just show you what happens. So if I change this width to 100%, so you see, this is the view. This is what it will look like on a small screen. So that's like, for me, this is what I would like on a small screen, instead of having to now go through maybe having to, or so what if, let me just ask, then what if I wanted 2 to be on, I wanted 2 here, what would they have, what would I have done? Yeah, 50%. That's fine. Thank you. At least you guys are getting the jack. So I increase this to a width of 100%. So the offer box. So see that we have this now. So this looks nice. Even if I go to a smaller screen like this now, you see that I still have what I want. And this looks nicer. It's not like it's not you struggling with things and all of that. So the other section is this part. So does anybody have a question? Yeah, Tobiloba. Yeah, ask your question. Thank you. You just type out, sure. Yeah, just type it out if that works for you. So another thing I want to, while he's doing that, one other thing I want to talk about. So there's a reason why we are using a minimum width or minimum height rather. So if I come to offer section, you see that we have a minimum height of 100 VH. Now, if I had made that mistake of using a height, when this thing exceeds, look at what is happening now. A height of 100 VH. This is what is happening. So this text, everything just goes under and just displays there. So minimum height kind of it gives room for, it gives room for adjustment. So even if it's long, it kind of still stretches and just fits into the gray section, like for this part. It doesn't go under another this thing. Let me see, what is the question? Okay. Okay, so let me start from one first. So you do this, you just start from 426 pixels for the screen size. At least that will cover maybe for all mobile, for all the mobile views. Except when you adjust to a smaller screen, it doesn't work out well. So you do for your phone using 426. Then you adjust to your tablet, because probably you also need to work on the view here. So you adjust to your tablet, and then the other one can just handle the laptop view on for you. So I think that works. So okay. So I think that is fine. That is fine. So I am still expecting Tobiloba's question. So you see now, at this point, now the style I did for the phone is not working. So when I come to the tablet, I have to also come and and fix up things here. So that's so let me just talk about that before. So you see the same way that we did, if you're doing for a tablet now, you have to come out of this particular media query, and then you do now and at media, you do the same width thingy. So maximum width rather, maximum. Of maximum width of, so now I need to just confirm this. This is 768, so I could just do 769. I'm just showing you 769 pixels. And then you start doing almost the same thing that you did here. So you just inspect, check it, and write. Inspect, check it, and write. So what of those of us that didn't use wrap and we did it in different divs? So it now depends on how you actually displayed yours. Okay, and please, so people have. Okay, beloved, I'm answering your own question now. So I'm seeing that you're saying those people that did not use you didn't use wrap. So if you used just normal flex, flex works with width. So you kind of still need to increase the width of the item. It will actually fit in. So probably what you need to do is now changing the flex. You need to just change the flex direction now. So instead of a row, it now becomes a column. If you just did it different rows, maybe you did for the top and then you later did for the bottom. But if you just did wrap, setting it to a width of 100%, Flex Wrap will just automatically take the wheel for you and just fix it up. So that is it. Yeah. So if you get what I mean now, right, Tabulaba? All right. All right. So any other question? Oh, if you use grid, there's grid this thing for there's a grid system, there's a grid view for responsiveness. So I have that off my head now. So you kind of, it's still the same way, but you have to like, you have, however you display the grid, you have to like, you have to make it fit into the smaller screen size. So I think we just need to talk about it. We'll talk about it on Slack. So that is what it is. So yes, I'm seeing, yes, tax is actually loading. Yes. So there's no escaping it like this. So what the page that you guys are working on? Well, we'll talk about it on Slack. So let's just do that. So okay, so okay, let me just push this. Let me just push this. Thank you. So I need to, let me open my terminal now. So I want to add what I've done to my GitHub now. I remember I had done this before. I had added Git, a repository here. So Git remote -v here. So this is my repository. I want to add what I have done now so far. So I'll just do git add all. And then I'll do git commit -m. I'll add a commit message. So I worked on responsiveness for mobile screen. Okay, so I've done this. Then I now do git. So let me just drag this up a bit. Git push origin main. So my origin, and then this is the name of my branch. So I'm pushing to the main branch. You still do the same thing. You still add, you still commit, you just push. That's the way it works. Edward. All right, guys. All right, guys. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I know I'm sounding tired and all, but yeah, we pushed through. So, so yeah, we'll talk more on Slack. So for people that have issues, please, 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 we're going to meet. I'll send the link for you guys to join on so that, yeah, we just look through and know what is the problem. Yes. So, yeah. So thank you. Thank you for coming to class. Thank you for all that you guys keep doing. Thank you. Keep studying, keep working, keep learning, and your beans good on. Thank you. All right, IK. Thank you so much.